That's a bad situation to lay up.
Welcome to the Too Old or Pure Gold Movie Podcast. In today's episode, we're discussing the 1996 romantic golf comedy Tin Cup. The format of our podcast, two Gen Xers rewatch beloved movies from our youth to find out, are they really as good as we remember? To help us debate and ultimately pass judgment, we ask our millennial co-hosts to watch these movies for the first time and help us determine, are they too old or pure gold? I'm your host, Olen Vanderleeden, representing Gen X. Unfortunately, my regular co-host Matthew Stockton is away at sports conversion camp. But we're lucky enough, and he's going to stay there until he stops calling hockey ice hockey, and until he stops calling everything else sports ball. But we're lucky enough to have another great Gen Xer, David Purcell, joining us to break down this classic sports rom-com.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, David.
And David, you have the honor of being the host of the second most hated movie we've ever done on this podcast. So,
good.
Nothing to do with you, David.
Well, no, I'll do better next time.
It was Michael Keaton's fault but
Gung Ho was a good movie.
You were there. I think today's episode will be a bit better received by our millennials, but we'll find out. Speaking of which, representing the millennials, we have comedian Will Corry.
Hey, hello.
And also our millennial cast member voted most likely to own a driving range in the desert, Anthony.
Morning, guys.
And before we get into this episode, just a reminder that the only way we can grow this podcast is with support from our listeners. So follow us on social media and please recommend us to a friend to help us build our audience. Today's movie is the 1996 sports rom-com Tin Cup, starring Kevin Costner, Rene Russo, and Don Johnson. Also a shout out to the always fun Cheech Marin. The movie's directed by Ron Shelton. Ron is known for directing the movie White Men Can't Jump before this movie.
Oh, nice.
The tagline from the movie poster is, and I love this one, Golf Pro, Love Amateur. And actually, since I'm looking for a title for my autobiography, I was wondering what you guys thought of the title Love Pro, Golf Amateur.
Yeah, it's probably better.
Okay.
We'll have to ask Kim on that one.
IMDb describes the movie as a washed-up golf pro working at a driving range tries to qualify for the U.S. Open in order to win the heart of his successful rival's girlfriend. Pretty on the nose. And for those of you that have not seen the movie, I asked my 93-year-old dad to watch Tin Cup and summarize the plot. Let's see how he did.
Roy McAvoy was a promising golf professional who didn't really make it to the top in golf. And that's mostly due to a bad attitude. Roy now owns a ramshackle golf course. One day, Dr. Molly Griswold, who is a psychologist, is asking for lessons. So Roy agrees, he starts lessons, and he likes her a lot, actually. And she also has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend is a very successful PGA Golf Tour star, and his name is David Sims. Now, he is a bit of an obnoxious character. He's arrogant, and he annoys Roy very much when they are together in a celebrity golf tour. Sims is insulting him and humiliates him, that kind of thing. And Roy is so upset about that he thinks maybe he should try to enter the TGA tour. And he is encouraged by Dr. Molly. And with that encouragement, he goes in and he does not quite win, but he's successful. And in this final game, he does not win the US Open, but he makes an incredible final shot. And that shot becomes a legend. So people applaud him, and it finally gives him the sense of satisfaction that in spite of all the disappointments and so on, he really did quite well. And so he becomes a legend because of that last 12th final shot. And he's loved by the crowd. And most of all, He is loved by Molly, and that is the successful end of the story.
I kind of think he's reading a lot into that.
He's a deep diver for sure.
He's a deep diver into the emotions. Okay, so guys, tell us, what did you think of this movie?
I love this movie. This is one of the first movies we've done that I've already seen. So I got to watch it again for a second time.
Nice.
But yeah, I love golf, and my dad loves golf, and he showed me this movie when I was younger. And
Sounds like a good dad.
I know it's a romance movie, but just the golf in it is so fun to watch. Like just his talent, and he's just kind of a washed up bum. It's just so entertaining the whole way through, and he's so funny. But yeah, I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, I struggled with this one. Obviously, I'm a golfer. I love golf. To me, it was a tale of two movies. The first half was super drawn out and long. Second half, or near the end, was really good golf, and I wish they'd lean more into that aspect than the romance. No guy wants to sit through that.
Okay, it's really interesting what you say. So I love this movie. I can watch it every 5 years or so. In fact, I watched it last week for the pod, and I was watching it again this morning while David was driving over here because I love this movie. But Anthony, I'm with you. The part I don't like is the rom part. The com part and the golf part are both good, but the rom part I do not love that part. But I love this movie.
Yeah. I first saw this movie in the theater in 1996 with all my golf buddies.
Oh, wow.
And we were pretty stoked about it. And I remember all of us at the time were like, you had to wait 90 minutes for anything to happen on the golf course. Yep. So, yeah, great movie. We all loved it then. It's still a good film now. It's fun to, go back and just see all those old players this is pre-Tiger Woods, right? Like Tiger Woods debuted on the
By
PGA
2
Tour.
weeks.
Yeah, in
2 weeks
1996
before
in
he
September.
went pro.
So, these are all the old guys. That's what golfers looked like before Tiger showed up. So, yeah, loved it then. Still love it now.
Agreed. All right, well, let's get into it. So, Rory McIlroy's final overall score in the U.S. Open was 1 under par, 287. His 4-round scores were 83, 62, 64, 78.
It's not bad.
So, that's not bad. It's better than I could do. So, putting a little bit of the trivia up front because I think that it really sets up the discussion well here. So, the scene at the end of the movie where Roy hits the shot into the water hazard again and again was based on an actual event.
Really?
So, Gary McCord, so if you remember in this movie, the guy with the funny mustache, he was the guy that did it. And he's an actual commentator and a pro golfer. In a 1987 tournament, he had a shot similar to this one. He needed a birdie to win, and he went for it. He hit the water over and over again and finally made the shot with his last ball and made a 25-foot putt to end up with a 16.
Oh, so he didn't make it into the hole. He didn't hole out.
He didn't hole out like
green.
that, but he did the same thing as in the movie, which I think the whole theme of the movie is going for it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm that kind
Risk
of guy.
versus
Reckless
reward.
abandon.
I'm not good enough to play safe. I got to go for it, and every now and then I can get a hero shot. So I kind of get where this guy's coming from. But I thought it was amazing that was a real situation that this guy, Gary McCord, just kept going for it over and over again.
That's cool.
And then one more piece of trivia before we hear from you guys on this. That's not the worst shot in pro golf history. So Tommy Armour hit a 23 in 1927 with 10 balls out of bounds. 23 on a single hole, that is. And then that's 1927. I don't even know how they played golf in 1927. So I picked a more recent one. John Daly, who I love.
I remember this.
1998, he hit an 18 with 5 failed attempts to clear the water hazard. So I actually love these stats because it makes me feel good, right?
Well, John Daly was drunk while he did that, so.
No, he was probably sober.
No, he was drunk. He admitted it in an interview. He was loaded for that round.
That's great. I love. I'm not a good golfer, but I love golf, and I love when I play with my friends that are good, and just to tell them on your worst game and my best game, I can beat you. So fuck off. Okay, let's get started with a couple of questions. Could you or have you ever played an entire round with a 7-iron?
I could.
Oh,
I haven't.
I haven't, but I could do everything except the putting. The putting would be so much harder. I'm already bad at putting with a putter. So like with a 7-iron, it would be impossible. But all the other shots, I think I could play pretty good. Like, driving out to the fairway and stuff.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time with the chipping. I think putting, if you do that drill, you chip, and then you just come tap it in from 10 feet with your wedge. You're kind of used to it, same technique. But
now that I think about it, I actually have. So at the Kinsman Pitch and Putt in Edmonton when I was a kid, all you needed was a 7-iron and a putter.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, nice. Pitch and putt for sure. I'm thinking about a full length course. I've never done it. I've always wanted to do it, but I've played single holes. I've played par 5s entirely with a 7-iron. And the irony is, we all know this, you probably do better with just a 7-iron because you're not spraying all over the place.
For sure.
Okay.
It's reliable.
What do you guys think about Kevin Costner as a sports actor?
Well,
I thought he's fantastic.
He's got a decent enough swing. Right, and if you think during this era, I mean, he was Mr. Sports Guy.
Yeah.
For how many films, right? Like
Bill Durham and Field of Dreams, and he's been. So I wonder, do you think he's the most prolific sports actor ever?
Are we including all sports movies like boxing and stuff?
Yeah, I'm just thinking mainstream. So I've mostly researched big mainstream movies.
I mean,
I'd say he's definitely up there.
Stallone probably beats him.
Stallone's done a bunch.
So Stallone would take it, I think, if you add up all of the sequels and of course Over the Top, which is a great sports movie.
One of the greatest sports movies of all time.
Arm wrestling is definitely an important sport we got to cover. Well, I looked it up, or I actually cheated and asked AI to look it up. Dennis Quaid, if you don't count all of the sequels that Rocky has, then Dennis Quaid has it with 8 movies.
Oh, wow.
Costner is 5.
Okay.
So it's true, Dennis Quaid does sports movies all the time.
I was curious, Olen, maybe you know this from trivia, but did Kevin Costner train to be a golfer in this movie, or was he already a natural golfer? Because that swing is nice.
So he is a golfer. He did train for this, and in fact, I didn't read the full entry, but there's something in there that they started to train him, and he only had a 3/4 swing. And then they couldn't get him to get a full swing and make it look good. So they said, we're just going to write him as a golfer that does a 3/4 swing.
That's so cool.
I agree. His 3/4 swing is beautiful.
That's pretty good.
And again, we're all golfers, so we know like a nice relaxed swing is all you need, not like the angry one I have.
His swing looks really like effortless in the movie. Like he's not straining or pulling at all. It's just flow.
Okay. Do you guys think you have to be a golf fan to enjoy this movie?
It helps.
I think it helps for sure. I tried to get Jess to watch it with me, and she was just like, what's happening? Who cares? Like, she didn't even care about the romance part.
But she does that even on the movies she's on the episode, so.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think you do
Except
need
9
to be
to 5.
somewhat of a golf fan to kind of appreciate just, like, the nice shots and, like, also just appreciate the theme of, like, going for it, and, like, trying to make the green and stuff. Like,
I think
helps.
you have to be a golfer or a golf fan to pull yourself through the first 90 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I agree. I mean, and again, going back to when we saw this in the theater, like we were going to go see the players, right? Like you had, the Craig Stadler cameos were awesome, and you kind of forget that the prize money wasn't as big. These guys, before Tiger showed up, golf wasn't nearly as big as it is, or it certainly was through the late 90s and the early 2000s. So you didn't really get to see these guys other than, Sunday on CBS.
Yeah.
So when we finally got to those guys and sort of the cameos of the pros at the time, that was pretty awesome then.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so David, this or Caddyshack?
Caddyshack. When I saw this film, it was the second best golf movie of all time.
And
now it's the third.
Oh, what about Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore's number 2.
Oh, Happy Gilmore.
Caddyshack will never be dethroned as a golf movie, I don't think.
Wow.
I agree. I have Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore, and this is my top 3. What about you're not putting Caddyshack 2 in there?
No. I'll even admit that was a terrible movie.
That was
it was so bad. That
was
just let's capitalize on as much money as we possibly can.
I know that
on the sequel.
Chevy Chase says there's 2 movies he regretted in his life, and Caddyshack 2 was one of them.
Wow.
So, David, another question for you. My gay co-host is away, so I have to ask you. You're the closest we've got.
Sure.
Thanks for leaving me out of that, Olen.
This time, you're lucky it's David here because you were a close second. Okay, well, I can ask you both. Do you guys think Rory McAvoy is a good catch?
In 1996, physically, sure. But he's a dud.
He's a fucking mess of a person, though, right?
Yeah, he's a zero. Like, I don't know. He's got talent and looks, but like zero drive, zero initiative. He drinks and smokes all day. Like, he's just a zero.
Sounds like you.
All right, hold on. I am a city worker now. I'm blue collar. I'm on the payroll.
Okay, well, I have a follow-up question. Can anyone that good-looking actually be a loser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Of course.
David's looking at me. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or what.
100%.
You get by on your looks your whole life. You don't ever develop as a human.
All right.
Yeah. True.
Okay. Well, then, next question's for Anthony. Is Rory McAvoy the best golf name in history? I love
It's
that
not bad.
name.
If you watched it, if they made that now, I'd think, oh, it's just a knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how eerily similar it is to Rory McIlroy. Shout out to Rory, who just won the Masters finally.
Yep.
But that is crazy that he came after Tin Cup. Like,
It is, right? That's hilarious.
like when was he born? He was probably 80 something.
Yeah, something like that.
What do you guys think happened to Rory after this movie?
Oh, excessive drugs, probably overdosed.
Probably got married to the girl and then got divorced within
Yeah.
5 years.
And 8 ball and a hooker, and then that was the end of that.
She thought it was all fun and games until she had to deal with that every day, all day.
Yeah.
Moving into a Winnebago.
Is it wrong that the lifestyle of owning a driving range and living in a Winnebago seemed good to me?
No.
I certainly had second thoughts about my path in life watching this movie.
But I don't know. We've traveled a lot for golf. Like, I've got a couple of golf groups that we travel a lot for. We've gone down the States quite a bit. And as you're driving, there's those shitty, derelict driving ranges all over the place. And it's usually got a trailer sitting on it or something, and that's it. And there's just a couple of guys out there living their life, right?
Yeah.
I have to say, my favorite driving ranges are the ones where they park cars on them.
Yeah.
And you just,
Yeah, we got stuff to hit.
You just get to bash out the windows and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Yep.
Yeah, totally.
So, another question I had, I just wrote down a bunch of questions about this movie because I had a lot. Why wasn't Sims madder when McAvoy took his girlfriend? He didn't seem really that bothered.
Well, she was a bit of a mess.
That's true, she was.
Real estate.
I think just his character was just a selfish type of person. Like, his whole thing was winning and being famous and winning the tournaments and stuff. I don't think he really cared about her that much. Like,
Probably
he didn't
not.
have much love for her.
So then, would you, if you could pick, would you rather be McAvoy or Sims? Sims was described
McAvoy.
as a soulless robot, but he's rich. A rich, happy, soulless robot with a beautiful doctor lady girlfriend. That's how they described him in the movie.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that all day over some
I'll
degenerate.
take the rich.
I'm taking
washed
McAvoy 100 times out of 100. I'll take him.
Okay, this is
He
explaining
just seems
a lot.
like, although he's like a loser and he hasn't accomplished anything, he's just more of a. It's like who would I rather have a beer with, Sims or McAvoy? Like, he's a fun
McAvoy.
time.
McAvoy.
As much of a loser as he is, he's a fun time. You bring him around, he's gonna make you laugh. You know, like he'll do some gambling with you. It'll be fun. Sims is a weirdo.
Yeah, but he wins.
But he wins. He's got money.
Well, yeah, he plays it safe though. That's the whole thing in the movie. Do you want to play it safe or do you want to go for it?
That's a good point.
Okay, so I don't know which of you knows the actual rules of golf the most, but is ricocheting off the shitter an actual legal shot?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can ricochet
Simple
off a tree or a rock.
The thing that bothered me about that, and when we were in the theater, we caught it. He didn't make it to the green, and McCord paid him anyway. He made it to the fringe. And we're all screaming at the screen going, hey!
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it didn't make it to the green.
Oh, interesting.
The other thing I liked about this movie is the whole idea of golf getting in your head. Like, where you can all of a sudden you can have such a beautiful swing like that, and then you can just start slicing it way.
Yeah, you get the yips.
Shanks are like a virus. It's true.
So
Nobody knows where they come from.
Yeah.
For anybody listening that's not a golfer, that is real. That wasn't made up. That whole thing.
It's also crazy too. You can start having like bad shots, and it will completely like ruin who you are as a person on the inside. You'll be like, "Oh my God, the world is ending. I can't hit the ball well." Meanwhile, you should just realize like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be having fun like with my friends." It's just such a crazy game. Like, it just gets in your head. Like
I have specific mental routines that I have for when I get the yips, or like get in my own head to get out. That's how bad it is.
What do you do? Change in the other pocket, hat on backwards. What do you do?
No, I have very specific mental cues.
he's not going to reveal them here. It's
Rose
there.
goes in the front, big boy.
One involves blue lingerie that may or not be worn by a woman.
Nice.
Okay, I'll remember that. I think I might have thrown your game off once or twice then.
Yeah, I was picturing you.
Okay, best parts of this movie, and there's a ton of them.
Gotta be the golf, just the straight golf and the interactions with the pro golfers near the end. For sure, the best parts for me.
Some of my favorite or best parts. Number one, when he has the first lesson with the girl, and she's got all the weird, funky gear on. He's like, "Take all that shit off. Let's just see her swing." And then he starts hitting on her with the poetry and stuff. Like, that was real smooth. And then another favorite part was when he makes the bet with Sims after the 7-iron round. And he's like, who can hit it farther? And he fucking smokes the thing. It's like 230 or whatever. I've never hit a 7-iron over 200. That's crazy. And then Sims just like outwits him and shoots it down the road. That's like such an iconic scene.
That was good.
I love it.
And then obviously the last scene where he just fucking, what did he hit? Like a dozen shots in a row. And he finally holds out. Like, it's such a payoff.
Those were all
We're
good.
gonna touch on that.
And I loved in this movie that they didn't paint him as just always winning, right? Yeah. Scenes like that one where he lost the 7-iron bet because he was stupid, or even the whole ending of the movie that he didn't win the tournament, I thought was good. It makes it more realistic.
Still got paid. He finished tied for 15th. Still got money. Got more money than he ever had.
Well, I mean,
Good point.
We'll get to that section, but I would love to have seen a sequel to this, to where he went. I mean, I agree, probably would have overdosed, but
My favorite parts, looking at it now, is that's what golfers used to look like. The pleated, billowy pants. Right? Just the horrific clothes. Persimmon drivers. Persimmon woods.
Everyone's overweight.
Everyone's overweight. Like, it's just smoking, the whole deal. And the fact that shot where he put 5 or 6 into the water, that's a 240-yard shot. That's my 3-iron today. Right?
Yeah.
And he's whacking a 3-wood and he's not getting it there. Like, just the difference in the game today. Because that would have been a challenging shot back in 1996 with those clubs, right?
That's true. Okay, well, bear with me. I got a long list of best parts. I'm just going to rattle them off for you guys. So first of all, I love the part where he hits the long shot as a caddy. Don't take that bet. Don't take that bet. So that was great. Golfing with garden tools. Like how to completely...
Oh, that scene. I love that scene.
How to completely humiliate someone.
He's like, I got to get them back. Let me just use some shovels and shit.
I already mentioned it. I love the idea of playing around with only a 7-iron. I'd like to try it. And I love using your belt as a 7-iron holster.
Yep. As he's walking down the fairway. Yep.
Getting drunk is a technique in golf. We've all done it, right?
There's just the right amount of drunk, though.
Exactly. You got to titrate the booze. There's a certain level that you got to stay at.
There's a flow state you can enter.
That's
when
right.
you stop caring about your shot and your body just naturally does what it's meant to do.
I always blow it. Because I always get to that state where I've drank enough that I'm relaxed and my golf game's good. But then I think, drinking is the secret. 100%. So I double down. And then,
You got to make sure to hydrate, though. On a hot, sunny day, it can be your downfall, for sure.
Yeah, I hydrate with liquor. Okay, worst parts. What did you not like about this movie?
The overacting. Especially those driving range teaching scenes where it's just like Rene Russo is so affected by everything that he says, and just the overacting. Like, it's just...
Okay, well, in that scene, I had for worst parts, I said his poem was stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I thought it was.
I think all poems are stupid.
And then I also had, Anthony, I think you'll agree with me here, the rom and rom-com. Like, I know you sort of need it for a movie like this, but it was... I didn't buy it. Maybe I'm not a Rene Russo fan, but I didn't really buy it. I didn't like it. I just wanted him to do more.
It just makes no sense. As a golf, it's the movie designed for guys to watch, and no guy gives a shit about the rom. They want the golf. and they just fluffed it up.
They probably did it to try to pull in a broader audience, right?
Yeah, I agree. I just for me it was like I would have been more at ease with it all if the golf was shit at the end. But it was all done so well that it was just a giant slap in the face that they could have milked that for another 30 minutes at least. Like split the difference.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, and
I think the romance part of it was just probably like the studio. They're trying to approach a broader audience. You're trying to get the girlfriend who's the boyfriend's bringing to the movie to sit down and want to enjoy it and stuff. Like, obviously the golf was for us men and stuff, or women that like golf, but
All three of them.
yeah, but I just think it was it was probably like the studio. I don't know.
For me, my most disliked scenes were the 7-iron scene. Like they just break all their clubs and he's still playing. Not that he couldn't do it with the 7, but just the whole process. Like you're trying to get on and you're acting like a total goof.
yeah,
That really pissed me off. And then the last scene, like I understand you're gonna go for it, whatever. He didn't need to make the shot. I understand that's his whole MO, but like just play to win or give yourself the best shot, and he just throwing it all away. He could have finished second or third, and I don't know. It just pissed me off. Like no one's ever gonna do that.
I sort of agree, but I had on my list of worst parts playing it safe.
True, but there's always a time and a place. Like you could easily
right.
get that tie.
You got to play to win.
Play to win. So I agree with me and with you. I agree. You got to play to win, and you got to play the shot safe when you're that close to winning. But me, I don't like playing. I get it. For me, it's because I'm not a good golfer, and the most fun I have is when I hit a glorious shot. Bank it off the cart girl and into the hole. Like,
I gotta say, as a fan, when you're watching, playing it safe is not entertaining. Like I never in any sport, I don't want to. It sucks to see the smartest players just win when they just kind of outwit. You want to see the exciting, you want to see the knockout, but as a competitor, it's like you got to play it safe if you want to win. Like that's everything. So I don't know. It's
for
a
me
weird
in
balance.
that scene, I thought like, oh, this is cliche. He's gonna make the amazing shot that everyone thinks he's gonna make, and then it rolled in the water, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of realistic. And I was like, okay, he's gonna go up there and lay up, and then he did it again and again and again and again. I was like, oh my god, just
couldn't
last
let
ball.
go.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting now knowing that actually happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely see a stubborn fuck out there doing that. I probably would, but
Okay, well, I'm going to segue into favorite lines. I think we got all the worst parts out of it. And just read this one to you. When you hit the perfect shot, it's like a tuning fork goes off in your heart and your balls. Is this how a good shot actually feels?
Yes.
that's pretty accurate, actually.
It's very accurate.
Okay. Any other lines you guys liked?
I did. I wrote some down here.
All right, go for it. Will is prepared today. What's going on? The 10 o'clock
got
start's
it.
good
I'm
for
ready.
you, my friend.
I love this movie. I was so stoked. Also, this is probably one of the youngest movies we've picked. I don't know if we've done like many 90s flicks.
It is. Yeah, but it's still 30 years old. It's 29 years old, so...
Oh, don't remind me how old I am.
Crazy.
Okay, he said at one point in the movie, sex and golf are the two things you can enjoy even if you're not good at them.
Exactly.
That was a great line. He was so clever in this movie. What else?
Well, I said, I mean, the shanks are like a virus. You never know where they come from, which is true. They just show up every now and then.
It's a lab in China.
And then when his buddy, the big guy in the TCU t-shirt, was caddying for him, and he's burnt out. He says, "I'm an observer by nature." I like that.
This one's very simple, but I like it because I think everybody I know has said this at one point. I never miss with my 7-iron. It's so
It's
not
my
true.
most reliable iron.
It is so not true. Everybody misses with it now and then. He hates old people, children, and dogs.
And that was an ugly dog.
I had pretty girl, but an ugly swing. And you always play better when you're wasted. We've all said that to a buddy.
Yeah.
Totally.
Definitely.
Just one more. I found it was a little cliche, but I feel like it really just hits home like what this movie was all about. But when a defining moment comes along, you define the moment, or the moment defines you. It's like a little cliche, but I was like, that's cool. Like that for sports movies, that's a iconic line.
He let a lot of moments define him leading up to that, though.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, one more thing about cool scenes that I forgot to mention is a young Jim Nantz commentating.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't
all
realize
those
he was
guys,
doing
yeah.
it all the way back then too.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the degenerate gambling that happens on a golf course. I mean that I mean, we're all golfers. I'm sure we know it, but that is absolutely real. Like, you're betting on the most ridiculous things and individual shots as well as the match, and
Absolutely.
all the time.
Absolutely.
We got 5 or 6 games going at every round that we're playing at the club.
Well, tell you what, let's find out how this movie did. Do you guys think it did well?
I think it did all right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
I remember
I
it being
think so.
pretty good.
Okay, well, according to Box Office Mojo Worldwide, Tin Cup was the 29th highest earning movie at the box office in 1996. Independence Day was the leader at the box office in 1996. And Tin Cup was beat at the box office by movies including Twister, Mission Impossible, and Jerry Maguire. But Tin Cup still beat Happy Gilmore in this year.
Really?
It's the same year it came out, and it beat Happy Gilmore. So it wasn't a complete failure. Braveheart was the Best Picture winner this year, and I'm not really a Braveheart guy.
It was fun.
I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I know it's a beloved movie, so it
I've
can
never
have that
actually seen
Oscar.
it.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do it on the pod sometime. I have mixed feelings about it. It was okay, but I just hate the people that love it because they love it too much.
Scottish people?
Scotland.
Australia,
Not far from
Australians.
London. Not far enough.
Okay, back to this movie. By the numbers, the budget was $45 million. Any guesses on what it made worldwide?
72.
Hey.
Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna say 69.
54.
54.
So when you take into all the promotion and stuff, this basically just broke even.
Yeah.
Okay, Rotten Tomatoes. Wonder if critics liked it and audience liked it. Would you guys care to take a guess?
I think at the time, because Kevin Costner is like the sex symbol of the day.
Yep.
I'm sure the audiences loved it. And like we mentioned earlier, like, you're bringing in the whole audience. You've got the golfers, you've got the girlfriends, you've got all that stuff. It probably scored pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I think critics probably more than the audience.
Okay, give me some numbers. Let's see who can get closer.
I'm gonna say audience 55 and critics 70.
I'm going to say audience 60 and critics 75.
I'd go 60 and 60.
Wow. Will and Anthony, very close. Anthony, you win this one with a 6. The critics said 74, audience 65. So critics liked it more than the audience.
Nice.
And this movie got no Oscars.
What?
Sorry, Costner.
Oh my god.
Your moment will come. Movie trivia. So we said it already. This movie hit theaters 2 weeks before Tiger went pro. And funny enough, even though I told you that Gary McCord actually had a similar situation, the idea for this the idea for this movie came when they were watching the final round of the 1993 Masters, when Chip Beck infamously laid up on a par 5 15th hole during the round when he trailed the eventual winner, Bernhard Langer, by 3 shots. It was the closest he ever got to winning a major, but he didn't win by playing it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a bad situation to lay up.
The course where they filmed this had no water hazard, so they had to build it. And it's still there on the course.
Oh wow.
Do you guys remember the scene when the grandparents were there with the kid asking for an autograph and Sims yells at them? Mm-hmm. That's Costner's parents and his son.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No way.
Cheech Marin, I love him in this, by the way. I thought he was fantastic. We didn't talk much about him, but what a great job he did in this movie. But he disliked golf until he did this film, and now he's an avid player.
That's cool.
And this is funny because we talked about this before. Guess who turned down the role of Sims? Dennis Quaid. So Dennis Quaid and Pierce Brosnan were considered for the role of Sims, but Don Johnson took it.
Pierce Brosnan would have been good.
Yeah, I
Crockett
agree.
for the win.
And
Snobby Brit.
we're really circling around Happy Gilmore in this podcast. Kevin Costner turned down the role of Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore in favor of this film.
Oh, thank God, because Christopher McDonald that's the best role in any movie history.
I agree. He's perfect.
Yeah.
We
It all worked
ha-
out the way it was supposed to.
We have to do that one as our next sports movie. That's such a good one. Okay, woke or joke? I don't really have anything. Nothing that doesn't really age so well in this that I could find.
Not really. It's not too.
He talked to a girl. That's probably it.
I mean, yeah, he's like a chauvinistic pig, but that's his character. He didn't. I don't think he crossed any lines or anything.
Okay, well, let's see what the people said about this. So, whatever you guys think of this movie, I promise you there's people who liked it more or less than you. And there were 19 10-star reviews out of a total 95 reviews. So, here's just a couple of them. This is the best serious golf movie in my mind. As far as comedy golf films, Happy Gilmore and Caddyshack were fun, but Tin Cup played out the dream of contending at the U.S. Open and letting it all hang out. There you go. Another person says, I watched this film at least 40 times. I just love golf movies with a sense of humor. So, David, you've seen it twice. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I've probably seen it 10 times. Will, what about you?
I saw it once. My dad showed it to me, and then whenever it's on TV, like it's one of those movies, I'll watch it. So, I don't know. In pieces, I've seen it like 4 or 5 times.
That guy spent over 3.5 days watching this movie.
This is such a sweet film. Who would dislike it? Anyone who does has got a hard heart. Sure, it's just romantic froth, but don't we all need a little of that in our life? No. The golf we do.
Just the golf.
Okay, anyone that saw this movie and did not vote for 10 stars has a serious problem and should be monitored for psychosis. Not only did it make a sports movie interesting to women, but it covers just about every emotion in the world to perfection. I'm very upset at the rating of this movie. It literally disgusts me.
Yeah, we're the psychos. Okay.
Okay, well, let's hear from people who liked it less. And there was only a single 1-star review compared to the 19 10-star reviews and 95 total reviews. So, sorry, it breaks into French here. With this crap fete, the 1990s most self-involved celebrity gave himself his 5th sports-related title, unfathomably bad script and directing. Don't do this damage to yourself, and rejoice that Hollywood almost doesn't allow this anymore. Don't they? Oh, I think they still make movies like this. Well, coming off of that, we need to go to the professionals. So let's consult Siskel and Ebert. And you guys think they liked it?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe.
No.
Okay. Siskel said, it's another installment in a long list of fabulous sports movies, and he recommended it strongly.
Okay.
Nice.
He called the script poetic. Ebert loved the writing, the depth of the characters, and he loves what he calls an unpredictable ending. 2 thumbs up.
All right.
Yeah, there was a lot of depth. It was a long movie.
It was a long movie.
It was it was a little long.
It was long. The characters were good. Like I said, if you cut the rom part, which I think was also... How long was this movie?
2 hours.
Oh, it was like 2 hours and 10 at least.
Yeah.
See, you could have cut the rom out of it, right, Anthony? And it would have been a tight 90-minute golf movie.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about these things. As soon as I turned it on, I saw over 2 hours. I'm like, for a fucking golf movie? Like, that's a whole round.
That's nine holes. Jeez.
Okay, well, let me ask this. Does this movie deserve a remake, prequel, or sequel?
No, yes. You could do a sequel to this, I think.
I think
Especially
a
today.
prequel of him in college would be cool. Like him blowing that famous round or whatever for qualifying. The one they reference in the movie. That'd be a cool thing. And then I wouldn't do a sequel, but a remake would be cool.
Yeah, I think a modern remake, less ROM, tighter. But now you can have like some get all the the modern golfers out now. Like everyone's got personality on the tour now, and you got the live guys. I think that'd be really cool.
You got Brooks Koepka is his son who failed from the tour, got fired from live. Now he's running a shitty driving range somewhere in the south.
Something like that.
And his comeback to the tour or something like that. I don't know.
Well, personally, I would have loved a sequel. I'd like to see him old. See,
He is old.
See how
Making
really
a comeback
washed
for the
up he
senior
gets.
tour.
Yeah, exactly. They did write a sequel for this, but it never got off the ground. And Costner, by the way, is notorious for never doing sequels anyhow.
Oh,
Good.
really?
I respect that.
Yep. So we're at the end of this. I'm going to ask you guys, is this movie too old or pure gold?
Pure gold.
It's just silver for me. There's too much good and too much bad to say either one, so I'm gonna say silver.
Still the third best golf movie of all time.
So you're calling it gold. I call it gold.
Yep.
I told you, I love this movie. Every 5 years I watch this movie. It's super fun.
Great flick.
Also, everyone needs a deep shag interior in an old Cadillac. I don't know if you noticed that, but that interior in that car was fantastic.
And Will, I'm glad we found a movie you like. You're a tough critic, so it's good.
I know this was a fun one. I was stoked about it.
And Anthony, I apologize for the ROM, but it's Rene Russo's fault.
It's okay.
Okay, well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this one. It's one of my favorites. It was fun to get a sports movie in, and I hope that Matthew's doing okay at conversion camp. They're probably belting him with hockey pucks right now as we speak.
Let's hope.
Electroshock on.
Okay, guys. David, thanks for being here too.
Thanks for having me. Had a great time.
And I don't think we have anything to plug because you're unemployed and have no interests, right?
Retired, but thank you.
Okay. All right.
It's a fancy way of saying that.
Oh, Will, do you have anything? Yeah, Will, you have something to plug, right? Tell everybody.
No, not really. I have some shows coming up, but I will have a big show to plug very soon. I haven't announced it yet, so I'm not going to do it at the moment.
We'll do it on the Independence Day episode.
But yeah, I got a big one coming up, so stay tuned,
Okay,
fans.
Sweet.
We will talk to you guys later. See ya.
Right on.
Sayonara.
Take it easy.